Peace and blessings. Don't you dig on testing? It's the content creator. I hit like Brian Bader. I'm back on the track with the facts and all that. Today I got a very good presentation for you guys. And we're going to start here with the general principles of the natural law. So first we got the principle of mentalism. Mentalism is the all is mind, the universe is mental. Then we got the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. Then we got the principle of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Then we have the principle of polarity. Everything is dual, everything has poles, opposites are identical. Then we have the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in, everything has tides. All things rise and fall. Then we have the principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. And then last but not least, we have the principle of gender, masculine and the feminine. Folks, so there you have it, the 7 hermetic principles. A calm mind will always bring you a better outcome. The United States is not a country. It is a federal corporation. Look it up. Go to 28 United States Code subsection 3002, which we've done. We went to the Cornell Law School. And as you can see, 28 United States Code subsection 3002. And when we scroll down to the number 15A, it says the United States means a federal corporation. So you got drama with the United States being a federal corporation. You got drama with Cornell Law School. Cornell Law School said it. Not I, but Cornell Law School said it. So here we go. A citizen of the United States is a corporate citizen with corporate status created by the corporation called United States and is acting as their agent for the purpose of collecting revenue. This citizen has only privileges and immunities under the 14th Amendment. A natural person has inalienable rights secured by the Constitution. A person with corporate status would have corporate income. Corporations. The act of corporations, strictly speaking, are the acts of the individuals who, as its agents or officers, execute its powers, and these individuals are punishable as principals for any criminal transaction in which they engage in the course of the conduct of the corporate affairs. In addition to this, within a limited sphere, a corporation is liable to prosecution and punishment by fine and sequestration of property or loss of franchise for acts of its servants or agents assuming to act for it in the exercise of corporate functions. Among offenses thus punishable are violations of liquor, license, and revenue laws, keeping a disorderly house, permitting gaming, publishing a libel, and contempt of court. John Joseph Smith is a natural flesh and blood person created by God. John Joseph Smith, all capital letters, is a U.S. corporate artificial person, U.S. citizen created by the government. In basic English grammar, a name spelled in upper lower case, such as John Joseph Smith, is indicative of a flesh and blood man and natural person. Do you need a lawyer? A lawyer, barrister, or solicitor can only represent the artificial person in any legal proceedings. If you use a lawyer, you remain within the artificial person domain and therefore are subject to the full force of all the statute laws. You only have a small chance of winning any proceedings, and usually at great expense, because you have to deal with every law, most of which have taken away the rights and freedoms of the natural person or natural man and woman. A human being can present himself as a natural person or man and woman in any legal proceeding and does not need a lawyer. You should never represent yourself, only present yourself. If you do not use a lawyer, you can remain within the natural person domain and therefore still have all your fundamental rights and freedoms intact. You have a very high probability of successfully winning any legal proceedings because the rights of a natural person are sacrosanct, immune from violation in any court. If you do not wish to conduct your own legal proceedings, You may have another human being act as your agent and conduct the proceedings for you. The courts today are private corporate courts run by the Bar, British Accreditation Agency Association. Think about this a minute. Attorneys are considered by statute and by court decisions to be officers of the court. Their first duty is to the court, not to you. Judges, prosecutors, and private practice attorneys are all attorneys and therefore are all officers of the court. Since all these officers are dealing in the same commodity, statutes, they will be statute merchants. As merchants is defined by the Uniform Commercial Code at UCC 21041. All the statutes are written by attorneys. Most business legal decisions are made by attorneys. Prosecutions are made by attorneys. Defenses are made by attorneys. Judgments are made by attorneys. Officers of the court are in fact just government agents. These agents are also U.S. citizens, and their main job is to collect revenue to pay the federal debt. Therefore, the whole court system and all attorneys have just modified the legal system into a business entity designed to run as many people through as fast as they can and collect the most revenue. And what is the one product of this business? Statutes. There are over 3 million law and statute books and over 60 million statutes. Do you know them all? Remember, ignorance of the law is no excuse. The corporates operate from the perspective that you are a commodity under corporate status called state property, an asset, and a judge has complete control over you and your life. He will find out what you fear, what you think you are, what image you are upholding. Then the court will use that to strip from you everything you love and have worked for, unless you cooperate with their process or if you dare to confront their abuse. This is the scene that you are confronted anytime you go into court today, and anytime your name has been entered into any state database for any reason. Even if you go to the state for some kind of assistance, the money is being made from your rendering in the system. And the whole 21st century community goal is a society that does not rebel when told to give up their sovereignty and not allowed to protect themselves or their families anymore. You have to be fearless of anything the judge does to you when you know you are right. Refuse to back down and appeal anything they do. When you walk into a courtroom and the judge strips you of your inherent right, he does not inform you that he's doing this. He allows you to be deceived into thinking that he's actually upholding the oath he took to protect your rights in that courtroom. He is, without you realizing it, bringing you into a foreign jurisdiction, which is the same as stepping into another country. And it is treason for the court to do this. A person who is a citizen of the United States is necessarily a citizen of the particular state in which he resides. But a person may be a citizen of a particular state and not a citizen of the United States. To hold otherwise would be to deny to the state the highest exercise of its sovereignty, the right to declare who are its citizens. And that's the State versus Fowler in the case from 1889. The first clause of the 14th Amendment of the Federal Constitution made Negroes citizens of the United States and citizens of the state in which they reside, and thereby created two classes of citizens, one of the United States and the other of the state. And this is a picture of the court structure, Laws and Admiralty. Take a copy of that. And that's going to be the presentation for today, folks. Say peace and blessings. And don't you dare go testing. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.